So a while back I got to take a few classes at the Westlake, stretch and flexibility classes specifically, and on 2 separate occasions I asked for feedback. My mistake was asking individuals that were, call them flexible for life, I would say. These are the kinds of people that are introduced to something like gymnastics or ballet from a very young age, and have the privilege, the benefit of being able to hold on to their flexibility longer than the rest of us who have our cartilage growing over there to the bones in a protective manner. Catch that nice and early enough, you can prevent that from happening. And see, the problem with that is that these people, these individuals don't really know what it's like for the average human to, I want to say, fight a losing battle. To go through a the average, I can't find the word for it, specific word I'm looking for. Well, to encounter what normal people encounter, where they struggle and have to fight through and actually train towards adaptation in these areas of flexibility. So, not just my mistake, the feedback I got, going back to that, was that the stretches I've been holding at the time were from both individuals, mind that. Both of them told me that I was holding the stretches for a bit too long. They wouldn't hold it for as long as I did. I hope they didn't see the micro expression. I stared at them for a moment and just accepted it in a way. They don't know better. See, flexibility. Flexibility is more than just a straight line, x-axis graph type thing. It's not one-dimensional. It's quite complex once you get really into it. But the point of this, the whole point of me bringing this up was I have a very specific stretch that is my favorite, my number one, my go-to for every day. I hold on to it with the consistency I need, with every ounce of consistency that I have. It's even a benchmark for me. Like if I know I am unable to hold this stretch at a certain depth, then I know the next day, the next week, if I don't get into it soon enough, I'm going to start experiencing pain and discomfort very soon, and my physical output will be limited as a result, obviously. So my favorite stretch is a compound glute stretch, compound hip and glute stretch for the lower body. I'll try and give a demo here quickly. Now, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's not just the stretch itself, it's the format of the stretch, the type of stretch that you're doing. Now, it's easy to throw up a leg and go, oh, I'm doing my hammy, stretching my hammy out. It's easy to do that. Let's see if I can get my leg in there. Yeah, it's easy to do that. It's not easy to go hold that stretch at a certain intensity for a long period of time, for a couple of minutes actually, for like 3-4 minutes, maybe 5, maybe even more, depending on what's necessary. Normal muscle adaptation comes around a shorter stretch. This is the one that most people are familiar with. The 30-second, maybe, I don't think it goes up to 1 minute, but it's around 30-second stretches. That's for muscles specifically. There's a point where if you hold it long enough, the muscles stop reacting, then it becomes a nervous system, I call it a neural stretch and a fascial stretch. I'll get into that in another point. Let's break down my favorite for a second. For a moment I couldn't see my legs, so add this filter quickly, just so you can see me get into this position. This in yoga is what they consider to be a lotus, or a seated lotus. The legs are in front first, comfortably seated on my glutes, then fold the legs in. This is compound, this is lower body. This can hit everything up till just below the shoulder blades if you do it far enough. Anyway, I'm finding my position first here, trying to activate the different muscles, looking for the intensity that I feel. Kicking a few things out, knocking down some tension. This is from running around a bit. Body's calming down, muscles are relaxing. I'm relaxing deeper into the stretch. Still finding my place with my back nice and straight. Trying to get my glutes and my ITP to switch off my hammies as well, so I can actually get into the stretch. Knees are down. You can't really see me breathing because I'm not really the type to exaggerate that. But usually at a point like this, we breathe in as deep as we can, blow out as slow as we can as well. This slows down the heartbeat, this relaxes the body, this promotes the lengthening of the muscles also. I managed to get a bit further now. Notice me using my hands to almost fix myself in that position. I don't want to slide further forward accidentally. I don't want my muscles to wake up and scream at me for no reason. This stretch is done at the intensity of about a 2 or 3 out of 10. Something nice and calm. Not asking too much of the muscles, just holding a form of resistance up against them. Holding them in a position and waiting patiently for them to almost submit into the position, into the new position. Deep breath still. Not fidgeting too much also. It just activates muscles unnecessarily. Gets them to panic. Now, 10-30 seconds, that's usually where the muscles are being activated. Anything beyond that, I think there's a protein called titin that stops the muscles from adapting more to the stretch. At this point, it's where the neural adaptation starts to take place. It's where the nerves take up some pressure. Here's where the fascia starts to take up the stretch. Call it lubricating the fascia. Getting it to be pliable and help me and accept these new states. Lots of arm work there. Trying to keep myself up here. Might have to start exaggerating the breaths just to get a bit further. I am actually rushing this, I'm not gonna lie. Trying to get down as fast as I can for the video. There we go. See, the moment the muscles stop talking to me, the moment the tension goes away, the body's like, hey, thanks. I go a bit deeper, find that number again, that 2 to 3 out of 10, and I hold it there. I'm almost as far as I can get with the stretch here. That's why I am fidgeting about, pulling it a bit. This isn't really a good demonstration of what the average person has to deal with. This is more a representation of me, since I do this more regularly than most. Why is it my favorite? The outcomes. I love the fact that my glutes get a stretch in this. I love that it's such a compound stretch, hitting that puzzle, that collection of muscles in the lower body. Any gains? Not really, maybe. You decide.